Welcome everyone to the Agents of Fandom podcast, a podcast that looks at the mystical realms of sci-fi and fantasy and explores magic of creativity. From comics and television to anime and gaming, we take a look at some of our favorite pastimes and up-and-coming content. I am the Radish Spirit, Jasmine.
And I'm the River Spirit, Kayla.
And as always, our first segment, we are going to actually highlight an artist that we like in particular, one or both, preferably indie artist, a designer, or a writer, just someone like not as mainstream, but still pretty amazing. And today I would like to highlight Hannah Hillman. And I really hope that's how you pronounce her name.
Look, Hillam.
Hillam?
Hannah
Maybe an I in there. Hilliam? Bueller? Anyway, so I really like her. She's a comic artist and she does illustrations, and she is known for her kind of quirky, off-the-cuff illustrations in comics. She mainly sells stickers and prints of her work. I really wish she would do like t-shirts because I totally would buy one. I love her art because the form of the art itself isn't very precise or technical. You can still see sketch lines of varying thickness, and it gives it that hand-drawn feel. And I like it because as a pretty average, a little bit above average artist, I like the fact that she has such a following, and they're like sketch comics and everyone loves them. Many of her comics portray things that happen in her everyday life, mainly interactions with her cats. Her cat, Battleship, and new kitten, Mouse Rat, get into all kind of shenanigans. And for those who follow webcomics, her comic had the wide-eyed black and white cat named Bear, featuring the Victorian cat saying, "Mother, feed us, for we are but skin and bone." And that's my comic of a cat that's my favorite comic of a cat pleading to be fed.
So be honest, like, how much of this is because she also draws a lot of cat comics?
It's a lot because she draws cat comics, but she has other comics that she draws. Like like I said, they're kind of weird and like not normal. Like she now has a character named Trongle, and it's a triangle.
When you sent me her Instagram and I saw her comics, I was like, yep, that's the type that Jasmine likes. I don't know why. I just knew like that was your thing.
It's so cute. A little brightness of my day. So today on this episode, if those who are following are still with us, you heard the not so short agreement of what this episode is going to be about today. Today is about Spirited Away, a film by Miyazaki that aired in 2001. Just a synopsis. A little girl named Chihiro and her parents wander into a world of spirits, and then she is forced to work at a bathhouse for spirits underneath a witch in order to pay off the debt of her parents.
You know, in a weird way, like, it's like a modern thing, except like technically it's not our parents' debt, but it's ours. But it also kind of is, because it's just like the generation before you, and now you have to deal with what they're, what happened to them.
Yeah. A lot of people are, dead. It's not always your fault. Sometimes you just have to clean up the mess.
So this was animated by Studio Ghibli, which, especially obviously is super popular in Japan, but also, transferred over to America. Studio Ghibli, they've animated a lot of different shows like Ponyo, Howl's Moving Castle. What was the other one?
Would you like a list?
Oh, I want to know if Princess Mononoke, Kiki's Delivery Service. I'm trying to do it off the top of my head.
Castle in the Sky. Ariete.
And I feel like for me, because I've studied Japanese culture. I've loved Japanese culture. I would love to visit and or live there shout out if anybody wants to sponsor that for me. But it's very, all the movies, Spirited Away especially, has like this very like nostalgic type feel to it, which I believe is like Miyazaki's intent when he creates these types of movies. And Spirited Away especially has a lot of folklore-ish type, specific to Japan, but like folklore-ish type stories and like themes that like I didn't really even pick up until I watched it again when I was older. Because I think we watched this back in high school.
We were in middle school. Kayla and I are the same ages, and we've been in classes together since we were in middle school. And I remember not the exact day, but I remember the exact moment when I was introduced to Studio Ghibli, and I will never forget. You and I, Kayla, were in a after-school program called National Junior Honor Society because we were complete nerds and we thought we were cool and that was cool to do.
It was cool. And what are you talking about?
They showed Spirited Away, and we didn't get to finish it because we only had like, an hour after school to watch it. So I went out and bought it on VHS.
For you young children who are listening, VHS is when you had to take this tape, and tape is there's going to be a time where this is
I don't know.
I don't even know how to, it's just like being a 90s kid where we are literally the generation of transition. Like we still remember when you had to dial up and VHSs and pay
broadband. And
I never had a pager, but I remember a few people who did.
I know my mom had a pager. I didn't actually have one.
And then transition straight to now where all these words probably sound foreign and super antique-ish to people.
Yeah, let me just airdrop you this picture of a meme that I found surfing the internets and Reddit today.
I feel like we're making ourselves sound older than we are.
That's true. We are not that old. We just feel like it.
But one of the things that I remember, like Chihiro, she's the main character, and I remember her character at first annoyed me, and then you actually watch her grow through the movie. And I have to, you have to be honest with yourself. Like the stuff that she was seeing and doing and had to deal with, like that girl had some
traumatizing.
It was traumatizing, but she had some spunk, right? Like she had a survival instinct in her that I wonder if kids today could be able to handle. First off, Yubaba, who's the witch with her giant head and rushing up into your face, just
breathing fire.
Like that, y'all just gonna be cool with that, But one of the couple of things that was interesting was like, number one is, Yubaba is the witch, and when she takes you on her unemployment, she like takes part of your name. And so you eventually end up forgetting your name, right? So she gives you like a piece of it, and basically it was like the kanji that was left. So for Chihiro, it was Sen, which means 1,000 in Japanese, but or like Kohaku, and all he had left was Haku, and I feel like that's not even just in Japanese lore. I feel like that's in other lore where the idea of like, don't tell a fairy your name, or like the power of your name, which...
Right. I've actually heard that in many instances. Not only, don't tell a fairy your name, don't tell strange old witch-looking women your name.
And wasn't that like Rumpelstiltskin? That was one too, right? Like,
yeah, that was a good classic example of the power of names.
And so another big element that was a lore that was in this was called kamikakushi, which is essentially it's a belief that in the Japanese lore that, when a god is angry, that they take humans. So this idea of like, that's what happens when children go missing, is that, the spirit was upset. And so it took the child to the spirit realm. So it's kind of like, Chihiro, she gets taken to the spirit realm, but it's more positive in the sense of like, she does end up coming back. And not only does she come back, she's like gone through these trials that have helped her grow, you know. And the thing is, like, she's still a kid. Like, she does mature, but she's also still a kid. It's not like she comes out of the spirit realm and she's like 10 years older or something. And actually, was it clear how long she actually technically spent in the spirit world?
I mean, you know, like day, night, it was only a few days.
Yeah, so it's not like it was like months or anything.
And then to her parents, when they got the curse lifted off of them, it was like no time has passed.
Right. And I know I read somewhere that the director mentioned that Chihiro and her parents, like, they lose their memory of their time in the spirit realm. So there's a part of me that's like, does that mean she's going to like lose her life lessons that she learned, or is it just going to be ingrained in her now? Or
oh man, I wish you wouldn't told me that. I had gone the entire time thinking, you know, at least she remembers her times.
Well, they said
apparently
in the English,
not.
Well, in the English version, they said it wasn't actually made clear. But I mean, it makes sense, right? Like, especially like a lot of like stories that I've seen, when the person returns over time, it becomes like a dream to them versus like, that was the actual experience I had.
Right.
And also, too, shout out to Kohaku, who was just like on it as soon as he saw her, you know, like looking out for her. And I remember when I first watched it, I was just like, because he was like, "Oh, I've known you since you were little." I'm like, how? How could you know?
Like, how?
And it's because he saved her when she was little. And then what? I wonder what I don't remember what happened to Lynn, like the woman who was basically helping her.
So I'm confused. I'm a little confused about this whole thing. So the spirit world makes a big stink about how they can smell Sen, Chihiro, and that she smells like a human, blah, blah, blah. But like Lynn looks like a human. There's several people there that look like straight up humans. So I don't know, were they also like taken as kids?
I was just going to assume either that or like that. I'm assuming that they may have been humans, and you know, because she's basically an adult at this point, so she was taken as a child. Maybe like even being in the spirit realm so long, like her spirit, because her human body faded away, or her scent changed, or if not, well, I was gonna say like, or she's just a spirit that looks like a human. But a lot of the spirits, they just looked humanoid, but not necessarily like humans themselves. Because even like the women one, they still had like this shape of their head, and their bodies still made it clear that they weren't completely human.
Yeah, but Lynn and the other girls of her, I guess, department, they all looked human. I know they mentioned, they were like, oh, she smells, and Lynn says, or Haku says, 3 days after eating our food and her smell will go away.
So, yeah. And also, too, Kohaku looked human, too, but he technically wasn't.
Right.
So.
I want to talk about, I don't know. That's just one thing that always kind of bothered me. That I talk about humans, but I'm like, you are a human. Who are you? But I'm like, I wonder if it was like a changeling situation, like they were taken as like babies or whatever. Yeah, but like I assume Lynn never left. She said she was saving up. She's saving up for a ticket, or one day wanted to get a ticket.
I don't know.
To get on the train. Speaking of the train, I want to talk about the shadow people on the train. Who are they?
I was like, and
I read a couple things, basically saying that they're like dead, and there's their other spirits. And then like another thing is like, oh, a train taking the spirits to like the next place, but it's kind of weird that they would let like Chihiro on the train, and then that gives like another layer of Lynn saying that one day she's gonna she wants to leave she's gonna like get on the train and leave. I'm like, oh, does that mean when she dies?
Well, she never said where she was going, because technically the train took Chihiro to the Yubaba's sister.
Right, but she was the only
but she had a ticket.
Person. She did have a ticket.
Who knows? Maybe the spirit world is very by the book. It's like, look, as long as you got a ticket, I guess you can get on.
But did you see any other people giving them a ticket?
No. I don't know what you want from me.
I don't know. I don't know. It was just kind of creepy. Just these people that were silent, and then like Chihiro looks out on one of the platforms, and then there's this like little shadow child just watching the train go by. It was creepy.
Well, I don't know. Like, I just assumed that, like, because, like, think about, like, this is a spirit world, so some elements of it have to be a little unsettling, you know? Just from the nature of where they are and what they are, like what it is, you know, even from Yubaba, which that's based off of another kind of like antiquated tale of like older women who were abandoned by their families, and like the legends was that they would turn into evil witches. I think it was Uba Mountain is where they were supposed to go, and over time they would like become witches, and you know, Yubaba is a representation of that. But they still give her, because she has a nurturing side because she has her son. But I'm saying, like, even all of those things, it's just, this isn't our world. So it would make sense that there are elements that don't make sense to us or don't unsettle us because we're not supposed to be there, or at least not yet, you know? So I assume that's what the whole thing with the shadow people was just like, yeah, they're taking a train. Who knows where they're going? They could be going from one different type of spirit realm. They could be like on their way to the other side or whatever. And Chihiro, as we, you know, she's still human, but I don't know how close she was to not being human, you know? I don't know. That's just what I think. I don't know the answers to that question.
I don't know. But I want to go back to Yubaba and her baby, which I just learned today that his name was Bo. Or Ba.
I still think it was cute when he had those little like suit spirits bow to him.
Oh, yeah. Those sprites. So when I first watched Spirited Away 1,000 years ago, I really thought that. So I was like, oh, that's okay. So that's her baby. And then I guess that weird bird thing is the dad.
I thought the bird was her. I thought she turned into the bird. No,
there was another bird thing. She traveled with another bird that was always a bird.
Well, I just assumed that was.
And it had a human. It had like a human head.
Yeah, but maybe that was just a companion. Or maybe it was a papa. I don't know.
Were the three heads the father? Who is the father of this damn big baby?
I don't like that.
I don't know. You don't like that one?
I don't like that one.
Why?
Because it's just those three.
I watched this last night. Last night, or it was 2 nights ago. Oh, like that sound they make is so annoying. Nope.
I have no idea who the baby's father is. As far as I can tell, I was like, I just assumed she like conjured her baby up. Why not?
She just made the baby. Why did she have to make the baby so damn big?
Because she's big.
But she's not.
Her head is the same size as her child.
Her head is too damn big.
Like I said, unsettling aspect, right?
And it's like, okay, this baby can talk, but it can't walk yet.
It could talk.
No, I know. I'm saying it could talk, but like she was very surprised at the beginning. It was like, oh, you're standing up.
Well, it's because he's so damn big. She never expected. Maybe that's why she wanted him big, so he couldn't run away.
Dear God, I mean.
Which that could be like a whole other like layer of like parents who will basically kind of like, I don't know, you know how like just basically not cripple, but just kind of like
feed their kids so they're so fat they can't do anything,
or like make their
depend on you,
or like basically make their children so codependent that they can't survive on their own without them, and the parents are just
never leave me.
And the parents are completely fine with that. They see nothing wrong with that. They're like, yeah, my baby boy or baby girl can't go anywhere, and it's like a 40-year-old person.
That is awful.
And it's just like, yo, you've never done anything. And I said, you know, I'm not. Let me be clear. I'm not talking about like if you still live with your parents or whatever, that's different from you literally can do nothing in your life without your parents' approval or assistance. And you are
what kind of parent would want that? Eventually I would want to be left alone.
Well, I think it's a matter of trust too, and a matter of like, yes, they're codependent, but emotionally they're codependent to their children. I don't know. There's a lot of things I don't know.
Psychologist on here.
Exactly. Also, let's talk about No Face, who was very.
That was creepy.
It was creepy, but I like the fact that it started one way and then was changed to the other. Like, yes, it was devouring people.
Yes, he ate people, but
and threw up gold. Or threw gold at them. But I like how he tried to give Chihiro gold and she was just like, no. And he was like, like his little hands were like.
And then like he like offered her more gold and then the mouse sneezed and like bit him. It was like so cute. It was like a little chew.
And then like the terrifying of it, like chasing her, and then like,
oh my god.
And then I mean, like that's some friendship that you can go from that to just calmly following you around now.
Well, he was like chasing her while vomiting and like melting, like he was melting, leaving melted traces behind him of himself.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Can you just like? I would just quit. I wouldn't clean that up. I would just quit.
You can't quit.
Like, nope.
You couldn't quit.
There's a ferry. Remember all the spirits come on a ferry? So why couldn't you just sneak onto the ferry?
Well.
Yeah, no one thinks of the ferry. They always think of the train, not the ferry.
That's how I sneak out through boat.
Yeah, you could.
And then there's the river spirit who everyone was like refusing to bathe because it was just so disgusting, except Chihiro.
They thought he was a stink spirit.
Yeah.
And they thought they were like funny giving the stink spirit to Chihiro.
Because she stinks. Because she's human.
Yeah.
And then after that is that, it turned out it was a river spirit, which was a commentary. Some people say it's a commentary on how human pollution is affecting everyone in nature.
I mean, yeah.
Which that's a cool idea, there were river spirits who were here to protect the earth and things like that, but even they became polluted over time just from like how much pollution was in their rivers and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just like, I can't even do my job because humans are just dumping stuff. Move.
Well, and then like how Haku, where he was a river spirit, but he couldn't find his home because they filled in the river.
I know. I was like, oh.
Humans are the worst.
God.
Poor Haku.
It's even like I told you, because they were cutting down trees in my apartment, and it was just so unsettling to see like these animals scurrying around, like clearly have lost their homes. And it's just like, no one asked for this. I didn't ask for this.
No one thinks of the animals.
So yes, for anyone who's curious, yes, we are animal lovers at heart.
Who isn't an animal lover?
There's a lot of people who hate animals. What are you talking about?
If someone hates like every single animal, I don't trust them.
Or certain animals.
No, like even if they're like, I like no animals except for I love snakes. I'm like, okay, well, you still have a heart, sir or ma'am. But like if they're like, no, I hate all animals. I'm like, well, I just don't trust you. You have no sympathy or empathy. I don't even know. You just a serial killer.
Well, I think lack of empathy. I mean, just lack of empathy in general is, I think, something that's happening currently, where people feel like if it does not directly impact me, I don't really care, and that's a messed up way of living.
I thought you were saying you don't really care.
No, I'm saying people who are like, if it doesn't impact me, then I don't care. And I was saying that's messed up because like the whole point of empathy is just, you don't know. I mean, even from a selfish point, you don't know what the next person could end up benefiting you. And if you decide to screw everyone over, then like who's ever going to be able to give back to you? So think of it that way.
Stuff like there's so much going on, and like it's we're just gonna ignore the dog barking because I don't want to edit that out. That is Kayla's dog. So
it's an Australian Shepherd, and he's protective of his home.
He just barks at everything.
Well, someone knocked at the door, so he technically he was doing his job very loudly.
So the world. It's so hard to be empathetic in the world today, or even sympathetic in the world today, because there's so much going on. I don't know how I can help anything.
So first of all,
that's like my main thing is there's so much bad stuff going on, and I want to do something, but I don't even know what to do.
Well, first of all, bad things always are going to happen. Period. This idea that we're going to get to this place of perfect world where nothing bad will ever happen and everyone is okay and taken care of. That's not a realistic mindset to have, but it's more, to me, it's just kind of mitigating, I don't even like the idea of I can't care about everyone because there's too much to do and I can't do anything. None of us by ourselves can save the world. It's just, it's literally, and the thing that's just it's literally I know people are roll their eyes and people are be kind to one another and blah, blah, blah. But literally that's all it is. If you're not an asshole to one person and then hopefully the next person is an asshole to the next person, and if someone's in pain or someone's struggling, we could go into the whole deep process of, arguing whether or not that person should take care of themselves and what help is too much help and blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, if you can at least feel something when someone says I'm hurting or I'm going through this, then, you're on the right track, even if you don't know what to do about it. Just even having that emotion is literally the first step of being able to listen, and then being part of a bigger function to say man, there's a lot of people who are going through this. Maybe we should all come together to figure it out, because at the end of the day, something that helps one person can trickle and help another person.
Right. Yeah.
So, as much as possible, you can stay positive, but while also still being aware of reality. And I feel I don't understand. Well, I do, because people are always positive vibe only. So that means I'm not going to think about anything. And it's no.
Oh, I hate that.
No, because that's just, once again, that's.
I mean, I get it. Yeah, you want people only to be send me I'm only going to pay attention to positive vibes. I'm just that seems kind of privileged.
Yeah, it is. And it also is just for me, I think it's you got to be able to, like I said, mitigate. You got to be able to know when your limit is of too much, but also have action plans for the things you don't like. So if you don't like what's going on politically, if you don't like what's going on socially or whatever, you can, and you also feel you're not economically able to donate or to provide financially, you can go vote, or you could not share information that is harmful, or you could, if you are so inclined, you could do stuff in your own way, write blogs or start a podcast where you talk about it, or be open-minded. Just there's so many things that I feel are not quote unquote mainstream that could be helpful that people don't consider. And the number one thing you can do is take care of yourself. Take care of your mental health, take care of your develop your emotional maturity, because that's going to help you in the long run, especially when you're in situations that are uncomfortable to you and that are unexpected. So, or when you get hit with bad news, you're able to recognize this is bad news, but there's things that can be done. There's ways we can fight against it. That change is one step at a time. That is not 2020. We're not going to enter into 2021 where everything in the world is fixed, because,
Right, because that's not going to happen.
No, it's just, but if you keep that momentum up a step at a time, a day at a time, an election at a time, an activism at a time, you'll get there eventually. You just gotta, and the empathy and sympathy are what's supposed to keep you guided and keep you going. That's supposed to remind you, like, oh yeah, this is why this is important. It's because I'm sympathizing with people who are struggling, or or empathizing with people who have had harm. Why are we talking about this? What does this have to do?
I don't know. Well, let's go to a commercial break and regroup, and we will be right back.
Hey, Jasmine, I see you're getting better at graphic design.
Thanks. Yeah, I've been practicing a bit. Hoping I can do a few freelance jobs, maybe.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, but it seems like it would take a lot of time for me to try and figure things out. I definitely don't have time to research starting a freelance business or where I should even start.
Yeah, starting a business can be pretty daunting, especially if you have to do it by yourself. You could probably ask Siren Vinay to help.
Siren Vinay?
Yeah. Siren Vinay is a business development and multimedia consultation and production company. They specialize in helping individuals just like yourself who are trying to figure out how to bring their talents to the market.
Are you doing a promo commercial right now?
Not only that, but Siren Vinay's project management and marketing services will ensure that you can bring your products and services to an audience that is ready to receive them. They also utilize their production service to provide original and authentic content to the masses and can provide these skills to help you develop your business as well.
We're the only ones here. I don't know why you're...
Developing a business can be hard, but it doesn't have to be. Siren Vinay can provide the support you need to take your business from the idea phase to the automated phase.
Meaning...
Okay, look, you just want to focus on designing, right?
Yeah.
Well, Siren Vinay has a team that can help you research and develop your business. Things like trademark research, helping you figure out what business structure works for you, basically anything that has to do with internal processes and procedures that you'll need for developing and maintaining a business and for getting clients.
Okay, so I can just save all that time and focus on my designs.
Yep. And the best part is that Siren Vinay will keep you informed, and they'll also educate you on the entire process. That way, you'll feel more comfortable for how the entire business process and development works, and you can know that they'll have your business interests in mind. You can check them out at www.sirenvinay.com for more information, or you can email them at siren.vinayllc@gmail.com to learn more about what this company has to offer.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Just make sure to check out Siren Vinay, and the website is www.sirenvinay.com. That is SYRENVANEE. And we're back. I guess this is a section where technically we talk about like what we liked about the movie, what we didn't, which I feel like that always blends into the first part, but so in terms of Studio Ghibli films, animations, where would you put this on your favorite? Like, is this your top favorite film? Is this your second, third?
I think, again, in terms of Studio Ghibli only, I think I would put this at my number 2 of their films.
I bet I know what your first one is.
Go ahead.
Howl's Moving Castle?
Yes.
Yeah.
I know it's also a lot of people's favorite, but I like it.
Didn't Hugh Jackman voice one of the characters in the English version?
Was Christian Bale.
Oh shoot. Why did I think Hugh Jackman?
I don't know, but I was gonna say close, but no, not really.
Not really, not at all.
Hugh Jackman and Christian Bale, that's apples to oranges.
I feel like for me, one of the more like nostalgic ones, so I guess that's why I put it first, is actually Princess Mononoke, or is it Princess Mononoke? One of those.
I was Princess Mononoke.
That and then actually, I have actually never seen Kiki's Delivery Service. I know it's a popular one, but I've never watched it.
I think I've seen it only once. I mean, I just like it because there's like a little black cat riding on a broom, but it's not actually
I mean, it was a movie, right? It wasn't like a...
No, right. It was a movie. It just wasn't super memorable to me, and I'm saying that, and maybe I should just rewatch it.
Which I feel like that I'm getting that a lot, especially with a lot of stuff we're doing for this podcast. Is like I'm rewatching things, and I'm just like, huh, I didn't think about that, or it just hits different. Maybe that's just like an aspect of you watching stuff when you grow up, and it is Princess Mononoke.
Mononoke.
I also like, and I think a big part of why I like it is because she rides a wolf, and I just think that's cool.
I just like the forest spirit, but I don't like the creepy boars after they die.
Oh yeah,
they get all zombied and stuff.
I know that I would like to buy Spirited Away and possibly some artwork, just because I think it's cool. And apparently, literally, as of yesterday, Studio Ghibli releases 400 still images from its iconic movies for free. So, if you are someone who likes your Zoom backgrounds or your wallpapers or whatever, and you're also a Studio Ghibli fan,
that's what I need to do.
They are available on the Ghibli website free of charge, so go have fun with that. I
need to get some Zoom backgrounds and up my Zoom game. So, what is your favorite part of Spirited Away?
I actually like the part where Chihiro tells Kohaku his real name. And I don't know why. It's just like it resonated with me because it was just like this little girl helps this like who knows how old he technically is, like this river spirit find himself again, and just like the way his little dragon face was just like, huh,
and then shatters into dragon scales.
Yeah, like that was my. And also too, also cool was that Kohaku is the name of Sango's little brother from Inuyasha.
Cool. I would never have known that.
And I
guessed that.
Really? Oh, why am I acting like you?
Why are you acting like all surprised Pikachu that I don't know something about Inuyasha?
Because you still can't pronounce it properly.
Whatever.
Which actually they're coming out with a brand new movie.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Which is super exciting. Like they actually there's descendants now. It's like Sesshomaru's kids and Inuyasha and Kagome's daughter.
He ended up with Kagome?
Of course. Oh yeah, he ended up with Kagome.
Ugh.
I feel like high school tainted her character for you.
High school did taint character. There was a certain I guess woman now technically that we nicknamed Kagome, and I was not a fan of the person in real life.
I think it's because like Kagome's character when we first watched her was very like annoying, and like yes, also too Inuyasha could be an asshole, but even still, it was just like I don't know, man. That girl was like going out her way to just be kind of like And then
just
it was like, and then it was just like Inuyasha, Kagome,
Kagome,
Inuyasha,
Kagome.
And it was just like poor Sangu was just like, I'm just here, just trying to avenge my Demon Slayer clan and get my brother back, and
just trying to be here, living my life,
deal with this monk who literally hits on every female that he sees.
Oh my god, why does all anime have to have that one person?
It's called cast types, I think, or whatever. It's just like, you know how like you have like the bad boy, and then you'll have the character who's like super aloof but actually like has a heart of gold,
and then you have the perv.
Yep, you'll have the perv. You'll have I swear there are actual words for each character type. That would be a fun episode, just me like spewing anime character types while you just be like, yeah, that's
really?
Oh,
no
cool.
way. Oh. Anyway, so my favorite part of Spirited Away is like something so small, and it's kind of dumb, but it's when Chihiro comes back after Zeniba's, and and she has the mouse in the little. See the bird turned into the fly.
Mm-hmm.
So the little fly and the mouse, and Yubaba's like, "Where's my baby? You didn't bring him back." And then was it then? Oh, maybe it was earlier, but anyway, no, it had been then when she came back. Anyway, the fly gripped a hold of the mouse and like flew him up, and just like little buzzing sounds, and then the little mouse just goes chew, and then she goes, "Ew, a dirty mouse," and the mouse gets all mad. That's actually my favorite part of the entire movie. And she's like, "You don't recognize him?" And she's like, "Why would I recognize them?"
Why would I recognize this dirty man?
Just chew. I
think you like his sneezes.
I do like the little mouse sneezes. But yeah, that's my favorite part. Just because the mouse gets so mad. Like, what? Heck you too, mother.
What I didn't like, I wouldn't say there's not much I didn't like. I just like the story overall. I like the animation style. I think I said earlier, Chihiro's character was a little annoying, but like her parents were also kind of just like ignoring her.
Terrible.
Yeah. So then I guess like when I look at the perspective like of the child at her age, I'm like, yeah, I get why she's like that. And yeah, I just think it was a good movie.
I love the Studio Ghibli backgrounds.
Yeah, and I feel like if you're someone who likes like that nostalgic kind of like glimpsing into another world type animation, you would like this. I mean, like this movie, I think won Best Film of the Century. Actually, what? Yeah.
Google that. Yeah. And while you do, I will tell of my other favorite part of the movie. So my other favorite part is near the beginning when Haku gives Chihiro the instructions of where to go find Kamaji and get and like ask him for a job and everything. And she's going down these rickety ass stairs on the side of the bathhouse. She's like super cautious, and like as soon as she gets her confidence, she takes one step and the step breaks and she goes flying down the stairs running because she gets scared. And she runs smack into a wall. Oh yeah, that was a good part. That was a good part, which actually No Face did that later inside the bathhouse. While he was chasing her, she I guess figured out how to do corners, and she cornered and No Face like slammed into the wall. That was the elevator, and like everyone in the elevator went flying. Okay, so maybe it wasn't of the century, but they won like a lot. Like they got Best Animated Feature Film from the 75th Annual Academy Awards. I'm not reading all of these. It's a lot. They won a lot. I'm sure there's a lot. We probably don't need to read all of them. I was
like, I'm not reading this entire. That's how much they've won. So many that I'm not reading all of them. So yeah, and I think that the director said he was inspired a lot by his friends and family, and so just a shout out to up inspiring movie makers like myself is like look at I think we try to get so distant in terms of our inspiration, but you can just look at like people around you or look at folklore, look at things that make you want to be like, I'm going to write an animation based solely on this. But yeah. You got anything?
I don't think I have. Oh, we need to
argue about our next movie.
We gotta figure out what we're doing next. What's our next episode, Kayla? So we did a game. We did a
TV show.
We did a TV show.
We did a movie.
TV show. We did a movie.
We did an animation.
We did an animation.
Are we looping back around a game then?
Oh, I don't think I have the time to do a whole game. I can do like Spyro, the only game I've ever completed.
Well, I'm playing the Avengers game.
Are you close to completing it?
I will let you know at the end of this weekend.
That's what I thought.
Let's see. We have Um. Well,
what about do you want to do a book?
that means I gotta read something in time. I
can't do that. You know, I'm a slow reader.
I still love reading, but
I love reading too. But I just wish I had like.
Look, I can either write or read, and now that I'm writing a whole bunch of projects, now it's just kind of like, I guess we could do
another movie.
Yeah. Do you want to do? Since our last one was a superhero movie, let's do something different. Let's do.
I don't know.
Do you want to do?
I just don't want to do anything Captain America.
I don't know why you hating on Cap.
Meh. Let's do like a classic. And I say that I have no idea.
I was like what?
You don't need to come at me like this. Oh, what are we doing?
See, this is when we would start having our audience pitch to us.
Yeah, hopefully
what they want.
One day y'all can give us ideas.
Or you'll have like the last 10 minutes of the podcast episode. It's just like, I don't know. I don't want to do that.
I don't know. Okay, so a movie just popped in my head, and I have no idea where to find this movie. It is old as heck, but it has a lot of good images in it, and it's kind of creepy.
What is it?
Little Nemo.
Little Nemo.
It's this cartoon from like the 90s, or like I was going to say the 1800s, the 80s. And it's about this kid going to like dreamland, but there's also like a nightmare land.
Adventure in Slumberland.
Yes, 1989. I just Googled it too. It was
Where
creepy.
the hell did you get that idea for that movie?
I don't know. Okay, like you just watch something so like impactful or weird or creepy, and like it just stays with you for the rest of your life. Apparently, this movie has stayed with me for the rest of my life.
You made it sound like it basically haunts your nightmare. So why don't we watch it?
Dude, kinda.
I am not watching a movie that haunts your nightmares.
No, but it's like a child haunting of nightmares. Like it just like I'm sure I haven't watched this since I was like young. But like
we could also do a show we both already watched.
What's that? We were thinking about Once Upon a Time.
Oh yeah, that or Doctor Who. Or
I don't know if I was looking for Once Upon a Time to rewatch because I feel like
last time I checked it was on Netflix.
And it's not on there anymore.
Oh, see, they've been taking stuff off on the slide.
I know.
You be ready. You be like, oh, I saw it on Netflix. Let me go get my popcorn for my binge marathon. And they're like, nope.
Yeah, like that is a really good series to binge, and it's kind of cool because you have like these Disney characters, but in real life, humanized in modern time.
And you find yourself liking characters that you traditionally think you would never like Regina.
Right, the Wicked Witch.
Yeah.
And it's also kind of cool because like some of these characters are really subtle of who they are. And you're just like, you're Little Red Riding Hood. I mean, that one was pretty obvious, but
they called her
something like that.
They called her Ruby.
Ruby, yeah. And they all had like different names except for Snow. No, yeah, I think she had a different name too.
Well, I have Star Trek Discovery ready to talk about.
I have not seen that, but I guess what you're going to do the whole season.
I mean, I've watched both seasons, but if you wanted to watch,
I haven't watched the first season.
An episode or two.
Yeah, I'll start that. We can do that.
Okay.
And you take point on the next one?
Yeah.
Cool. There you have it, people. A not so heated debate of what we are going to talk about next. Please give us suggestions.
Yeah, we're pretty open. I mean, except for horror. But yeah, we like, you know what we like. You guys should, we've given you a little dabble into the type of things that we enjoy, and hopefully you enjoy hearing us vaguely talk about them.
Yeah, I like anything magic.
And I like anime and superheroes and comics. I would love to do a whole review on like a comic storyline one day, but I don't want to torture Jasmine with it.
Oh man, I don't even know where I begin to even read something like that.
I have like there's this in the Marvel universe, there's this the most recent kind of compilation it's called the War of Realms. Shut up. It's called the War of Realms. And I have that whole storyline, so if you ever wanted to borrow.
How long is it?
What do you mean it's a comic. It's their comics. It's like a book.
How many are there?
It's the main storyline is in one book.
Okay, maybe. That's possible.
There's also the Thor storyline. There's Ta-Nehisi Coates' run of Black Panther. Those are just what I have, not like all I would talk about. But
all right.
So
that is a possible future episode, but we are going to wrap it up here as I went longer than we went longer than I thought we were going to, honestly. I was looking at the clock at like 8 minutes. I was like, oh, are we really going to be able to stretch this out? And here it is 49 minutes later.
See, you never know.
I know. All right. That is it for today, everyone. If you have an idea of what you would want us to rant about, give our opinions about, let us know. Social media will be up. Anything to add, Kayla?
If you're a gamer, you like watching people play games, sometimes poorly, you can follow me at Queen K all day on Twitch.